everyone. This is a special one. We have two legends joining us here today. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
शुक्रिया जी
And as a big fan of Coke Studios since day one, it's a pleasure to be having this conversation with you. So my first question would be that Coke Studio has transitioned from just great music to becoming a torchbearer of Pakistan's culture, right? How do you think this evolution has been possible? And what was the vision, especially behind the latest season? Because that was an actual game changer.
Okay, it's a good question, and I think it's a very extensive question as well. I'll try to be brief. You know, when you start unlayering culture, you go back in time, you see what we have been, what we are, you find there is a lot of love. डिफरेंट चीज़ों में जैसे हम हैं, जो हमारे रिचुअल्स हैं, जो हमारे दिल हैं, देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ लव. और एक बिलीफ है कि लव वो चीज़ है जिसे आप अपनी कोई बात भी किसी को समझा सकते हो. कोई बात किसी को समझानी हो तो प्यार से समझाओ. अब कोक स्टूडियो के थ्रू हमने क्या करना है? हमने दुनिया को अपनी बात प्यार से समझानी है. सो कोक स्टूडियो हमारे लिए लैंग्वेज ऑफ लव है, जिससे हम अपने नैरेटिव को दुनिया को बयान करेंगे. सो इट डज नॉट जस्ट रिमेन अ म्यूज़िक प्लेटफॉर्म. इट बिकम्स अ लैंग्वेज ऑफ आर्ट दैट वी स्पीक टू द वर्ल्ड वन, एंड इट बिकम्स अ कम्युनिटी. और मतलब जब एक कम्युनिटी बन जाती है ना, उसकी खूबसूरती होती है कि व्हेन कम्युनिटीज़ वर्क टुगेदर इट्स मैजिकल. तो यूनिवर्स भी वाकई इट कंस्पायर्स इन आवर फेवर and it makes things possible. So our vision is going deeper into our layers of identity, even going sideways, forward, back in time, looking at the future, the past, the present, and वो हर layer को हम express करें artfully to the world. Because honestly, the world wants to witness it. The world wants to know our narratives, our expression, and we have seen it not just through Coke Studio, but हमारा नैरेटिव दुनिया को कैसे कैसे एक्सप्रेस हो रहा है वो हम बहुत सारी मीडियम्स के थ्रू अब देख रहे हैं, और बहुत सारी आर्ट फॉर्म्स के थ्रू देख रहे हैं, फिल्म के थ्रू देख रहे हैं. सो जब ये आपको मौका मिल जाता है ना, फॉर अ पर्सन लाइक मी इट्स probably the most exciting thing. We can speak to the world, and we can speak so with the language of art to the world. And that is why if you see this Coke Studio, हमने डाइवर्सिफाई कैसे किया पूरी चीज़ को. जनरली पहले एक सेट होता था, राइट? उस सेट पे यू वर एक्सप्रेसिंग थ्रू द लैंग्वेज ऑफ म्यूज़िक. सो व्हेन यू स्टार्ट टेलिंग स्टोरीज़, जो कि हर स्टोरी के लिए आप उसकी दुनिया बना दें, वर्ल्ड बिल्ड कर दें, अब आप सोचें आपके पास कितना मौका है अपने आर्ट को और अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने का. So that's the point. Our diversity should be showcased to the world, and if that happens in the manner of love, प्यार से again आप हर बात समझा सकते हो दुनिया को. So बस that's what our vision was, to talk to the world with love. Yeah. You want to say something?
So I think, like adding on to what Zulfiqar has already said, for us, identity is very important. What Coke Studio does is it gives Pakistani people an identity all over the world, right? It's heard in 180 countries. So wherever there is someone who's Pakistani, like this is his connection to home, right? So it's their connection to home. Even when I was away, like Pakistani music, Pakistani cricket team, there are things like this that build that connection or make it stronger. And I think that's something that we've tried to capture. Like we want you, like as Pakistanis, wherever you are, to like look back and be like, okay, this is us, right? So it's all about representation in the world now. Like representation is super important.
Absolutely. I think to add to that, there is another thing: authenticity. Authenticity वो चीज़ है जिसके थ्रू आप अगेन अपने आप को जो भी एक्सप्रेस करोगे, लोग उसको समझने की ऑनेस्ट कोशिश करेंगे जब भी आप ऑथेंटिक होंगे. जब आप नहीं होंगे तो फिर टाइमलेस नहीं हो सकते आप. किसी चीज़ का टाइमलेस होना उसके ऑथेंटिक होने पे डिपेंड करता है. और ऑथेंटिक होने के लिए एक सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है अपनी ईगो से डिटैच करना। बस ना आपके आइडियाज़ ईगो की लेयर्स उसमें हो सकती हैं, उस आइडियाज़ को भी ईगो से डिटैच करना है, अपनी जर्नी को भी ईगो से डिटैच करना है, प्लेटफॉर्म्स को भी ईगो से डिटैच करना है, तो फिर बहुत बढ़िया दुनिया और बहुत एक्सप्रेसिव है। देन वी कैन डू सो मच। आई मीन इट्स ऑनेस्टली इट्स एंडलेस, इट्स टाइमलेस। मैं तो इन ही ज़ीशान विल टेल यू, मेरी तो वाकई बच्चों वाली एक्साइटमेंट है कि क्या क्या हो सकता है, और रोज़ाना मैं उसको तंग भी करता हूँ कि ये भी कर सकते हैं, ये भी कर सकते हैं, ये भी कर सकते हैं। एंड इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट म्यूज़िक एट ऑल, इट्स अबाउट अस। कोक स्टूडियो इज़ अबाउट अस। हम बस बात कर रहे हैं दुनिया से, अब हम पे है कि हमने वो क्या बात करनी है जो हमारा ग्रेटर नैरेटिव दुनिया को बता सकें, ताकि सबको पता चले कि पाकिस्तान कितना प्यारा मुल्क है, कितने प्यारे लोग हैं, वी आर पीपल ऑफ लव। हम बस वो बता दें।
Absolutely, that's beautiful. So Coke Studio has impacted a lot of other Coca-Cola markets internationally, and they've been inspired to launch their own Coke Studio versions. So what was the vision behind this specific export of music and marketing concept?
Okay, so a lot of people think that Coke Studio started in Pakistan. It didn't start in Pakistan, it actually started in Brazil. It started in Brazil. We were the first one to bring it here. And we didn't do it the way the Brazilians did it, we did it a little differently. We made it our own. And I think what we did was that we went beyond just music, we got into culture as well, right? Coke Studio became the preservation of our heritage, our culture, and it also became a showcasing of that culture in a contemporary way, right? So that really resonated with everyone across the world, and it showed them a model in a way, I would say. Like now you have a Coke Studio in Africa, you have a Coke Studio in Philippines, Coke Studio Bangladesh started last year, Coke Studio India is coming very soon as well. And what we've seen this year is, because of the work we've done over the several years that we've done it, and especially the work done this year, a lot of teams from across the globe have started reaching out to us. Like Zulfiqar's had sessions with the India team, he's had sessions with the Bangladesh team, he's had sessions with the Africa team, even like the work with the global team that we're going to start is starting now. And if you see how Coke Studio is not just in Pakistan now, you see it in the US now, you see it in the UK now, that's because of the work done here by Pakistanis. So I think Coke Studio is something that we should be proud of as Pakistanis, that it's something that we've, taught people how to do around the world. So I think it's a huge, huge deal that we're able to export Coke Studio and our music the way and allow people to use that model to showcase their own culture. Yeah.
I think बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही बात की है, and I think we can unify the world through art. I know big shot बात बहुत moon shot है in fact के, but I really feel, I think we believe that through art and love हम actually हम bridge बन सकते हैं, through emotions, through art हम bridge बन सकते हैं और दुनिया को इकट्ठे करने की bridge बन सकते हैं. So the fact that Coke Studios are happening all around the world, I mean it's like you're unifying these different cultures through art. तो इससे बड़ी बात क्या है?
Bilkul. So, Zeeshan, following up on what you said, there have been case studies and academic reports that have been written about Coke Studio and the way it's been marketed. And they're being studied by students at Yale and Harvard and many other universities. So what was your approach in marketing and doing the PR, and how did the brand achieve all of this presence and so much?
So if you look at marketing, right, a lot of people think all kinds of marketing is the same, right? But there's a specific kind of marketing which Coke Studio falls under, which is passion point marketing or asset-based marketing. इसमें like ये वो चीज़ें नहीं है जो आपकी normal marketing में रहेगी. Just Zulfi भाई भी कहते हैं authentic होना ज़रूरी है, right? So authenticity is one of the key things that we look at when we're designing our campaign. किसी को लगना नहीं चाहिए यार कि ये real नहीं है, right? So one of the core things within our marketing is authenticity. Like we need to be true to like who we are. हम जो बात करें वो बस बात नहीं होनी चाहिए. There should be more to that. So I think it's the truth, it's the realism and all of that we add to this, along with all of the learnings from passion point marketing that we bring in, that has made it so successful. Zulfi bhai?
हाँ नहीं बिल्कुल, absolutely perfect. और मैं बल्कि भी सोच ही रहा था when you were saying, when you were talking कि this is the time to express. And marketing be, I mean, you're right. If it does not look real, people will not, will not resonate and they will not make it a part of their lives. For something to become part of people's life, it always has to be, done with a lot of good niyat, honesty, authenticity. तो बस हो जाता है फिर और एक बल्कि एक सेइंग भी है वो है कि द ऑडियंस नोज व्हेन यू आर लाइंग इट्स पुराना म्यूजिशियन है मैं जेम्स समथिंग नाम था मैं भूल गया बट दैट्स द बिगेस्ट ट्रूथ सो इवन इन मार्केटिंग if it seems that you are lying whatever brand whatever product you are marketing if it seems it's not authentic maybe individuals को आप fool कर सकते हैं communities को नहीं कर सकते and us together as community can accept or reject something. As people, we might have different choices, but as communities, we only accept authenticity. So, and that is why I say this is a very beautiful moment for us as Pakistanis. क्योंकि अब the world is watching us what we have to offer. और मेरे लिए art और science, by the way, नहीं different नहीं है, same है. So whatever we have to offer and whatever we are, it's all about expressing yourself. So this is the time to express yourself. And trust me, there is an audience, there are people somewhere in the world listening to you. वो आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों, बात जिसमें वाकई विंग्स होते हैं ना वो बात बहुत आगे जाती है. So अब होप भी रखना ज़रूरी है for the future. And वो काम करना भी ज़रूरी है अगर मतलब in all honesty if somebody has to ask me for one advice, तो I would tell them कि please entertain your mad ideas. जो दुनिया जिनको कहती है आपके कि यार ये आइडियाज़ जो है ना ये पता नहीं क्या है ये कैसे करोगे इससे फ़ायदा क्या है but if you have belief in your mind कि these ideas are something entertain them talk to them have a conversation with them your real journey lies there जो शायद comfort zone से बाहर है लेकिन वो असल वही है.
Absolutely. And I think that one thing that stands out and has always stood out, especially in this last season also, is the ownership of culture, like you said.
Yes.
Because हम as Pakistanis शायद इतना ownership नहीं लेते अपने culture की.
Culture है हमारा.
This has been so Zulfi bhai, you curated an entire experience for this specific season, जैसे आपने शुरू में भी कहा, right? And you brought so many artists together. With diverse backgrounds और उनकी specialties के लिहाज से. So tell us a little bit more about that.
See, when we say artist, I want to really clear not just musicians or singers or songwriters. We got art directors, we got visual experts, we got choreographers, we got so many people of art and even science when we had to sync all these things together through light or whatever. In our journey we have, I think it has been a diverse journey. So our team includes a lot of different people from Pakistan who are excelling, who have an expression. See, जब आप कहते हैं ना कल्चर की लेयर्स हैं अब वो कल्चर की लेयर्स में आप डीपर जाते हो तो यू फॉल इन लव even further with it. For example, so many of us fell in love with Stranger Things. Now it's the world, the West, from the 80s. But they visited it so authentically that we all fell in love with it. We have had so many interesting eras which are full of textures, layers, stories. Even past alag, present alag. There are spaces, places, cultures all around our country. If you even have one conversation with a culture person from that region, you will know you have only scratched the surface. So in this journey, even season 14 ki and moving on, season 15 ki bhi, we are not looking towards just building songs. We are looking towards building narratives, telling stories, and building worlds. And our aim is that through that world, we can express ourselves to the world fearlessly and with love, right? And for that, you need to have so many different art people from different, mindsets. So not just musicians, but people, as I said, art directors, like for this next season, right now we are talking to historians, we are talking to different culture people, we are talking to architects. So this is a, the journey is only getting more diverse and more diverse. And जब आप इस तरह की किसी चीज़ को करने निकलते हैं ना, तो वो आप लोग भी ऐसे इकट्ठे करते हैं कि वो लोग जिनकी अपनी जर्नीज़ में इतनी लेयर्स रही हैं कि वो एक्सप्रेस करते हुए डरते नहीं हैं, वो उनकी नॉलेज, उनका दिमाग, they want to tell something to the world, and that's how, if you ask me, my process is I keep scouting all the time. And the best thing about, I think, this journey, this Coke Studio journey is that now people from all walks of art, they contact me, how can we contribute to this, right? So from somebody like an art director to somebody like a Mehndi expert, how can my art be expressed through Coke Studio? That's beautiful. That's big. So and this is the beauty of the journey, and it's ongoing. I mean, this curation doesn't happen just when we are shooting and recording. The curation happens as a lifestyle in the journey, and then you meet the right people, your stories keep weaving. Bas dimag open rakhna hai. So that's how, I don't have a very clear answer to it, but this is my lifestyle. This is what I do. I love doing it, and I love talking to different people, understanding different cultures, keep my knowledge, thing going. लोगों से बात करता हूँ, सोचता हूँ, बस that's it, and बस that's how it happens.
That's great. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who are fans of Coke Studio here, right? So थोड़ा सा ये बताएं कि what's next for Coke Studio? You hinted upon it a little bit, but अगर थोड़ा सा और बताएं, and what should we be expecting from the next season?
Expectations. See, in all honesty, I feel process is where it all lies. अगर आपके process में सच है, honesty है, तो फिर वो जो चीज़ बनती है ना, वो जो उसका final result लोग देखते हैं, it is just the icing on the cake. केक आप पूरा बना रहे होते हैं अपनी जर्नी में, अपने दिल से जब आप काम करके, collaboratively, unity के साथ. So that's what we are doing right now. And what we have learned from our journeys is that हमने भी अभी surface ही scratch किया as far as what we can express. So now we are going into these deeper layers, and every day, I'll be very honest, as we are doing it, every day I shed tears, every day I laugh, every day I am just amazed at the emotion this country has and the people have. और जब बस यही प्रोसेस मुझे तो ये बता देता है कि यार इस ऑथेंटिसिटी और सच्चाई को अगर आप लोगों तक पहुंचा देंगे, लोग उससे they will fall in love with it. So that's how simple it is for me, and that's what I'm honestly just striving to do. So expectations मुझे नहीं पता क्या होती हैं. I want to surprise myself, and we want to surprise ourselves, and we want to surprise all of you. So let's hope you are pleasantly surprised and you love it, and we are working hard on it with all our hearts.
Zeeshan, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, so like Zulfi Bhai said, there are a lot of expectations, yes. But we're not thinking about the expectations. I think it's more about the journey we've had with the platform, with the community now, not the platform. So what we feel is that there are a lot of learnings from what we did last year. And there's a lot that we've gone into further. And like he said, that we've only scratched the surface, right? So we feel like season 14 was just the beginning. And we don't just say that. It's just that we've gotten the freedom to do the things that we want to do now. Right? If you see, we broke so many stereotypes, so many things attached to Coke Studio last year. And I think what you can expect next year, the one thing that you can expect is that there will be things that are different, things that you don't expect. Yeah.
और दूसरा ये कि जो किसी भी नैरेटिव की सही जो कहानी स्टार्ट होती है ना, सही वो उस वक्त होती है कि जब वो आप तक पहुंचता है. तो एक तो चीज़ हमने सोची होती है, लेकिन the way people and communities interpret ideas, they make it so diverse कि that's the real magic, if you ask me, when that begins. So हम attempt और दिल से process यही कर रहे हैं कि वो चीज़ें दें जो आप अपनी लाइफ का हिस्सा बना सकें, और वो चीज़ें जिनसे आप रिलेट कर सकें. You fall in love with those things. They become a part of your lives, your moments, and everything. That's all we are striving for, because we do all of this for the people, and I think we are completely clear about that. So yeah, and that's where my excitement comes from as well. The process, you put all the right ingredients in, but when it reaches people, the way people react to it is the real magic.
That's amazing to hear, and I think that we can all agree that it only gets more amazing going forward. So that's good news for all of us. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing the journey. Thank you so much. Thank you.